it been 2 weeks now? Because
2 weeks is like a year to me.
Dude.
This year, anyway.
Why is it, like, for the past week, I've woken up, literally had to convince myself of what day it is. It's like, oh, it's Monday.
Right.
Wait a minute, Logan.
Mm-hmm.
It is Tuesday.
I text Fran from Healthletic Meals last night. I was like, hey, I need this tomorrow. And she's like, you mean Tuesday, right? Oh, wait.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what's going on? Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Upstate Strength Cast. I'm here with Logan Krieger at TriFit Barbell, and our special guest today is Miss Lisa Corkren from Iron House Gyms. How you doing, Lisa?
I am great.
Good.
Glad to be here, Jacob.
Thank you for coming out here.
Thank you for coming out.
No, this is so great.
It's awesome, yeah. And I was the one that asked you, and here I am running late, so I apologize.
That's okay.
But it happens. That's traffic.
Thanks, I-85.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we wanted to get you on here today to really talk about an event that's coming up more so, but also kind of hear a little bit about Iron House, because obviously you and I have a great relationship, and the past almost 4 years.
Yes.
I know your story, but the Upstate might not. So,
You want the condensed version?
Right, yeah, I was going to say, we'll get like
the very condensed version.
Right.
Basically, as I was just telling Logan, I was doing home health nursing with low-income first-time moms, and they all wanted to get their bodies back. They're 16, having babies. And so I said, if I open a gym and you can come for free, would you do that? Would you make that commitment? So I sold my house and moved my children into a warehouse, lived there for 3 years.
Wait, you lived?
And I lived in my gym. Yes.
That's the dream. What do you think?
My
Amazing. That's amazing.
My daughter is the oldest, and she was leaving for Clemson, and she had a fit saying, I'm not living in a warehouse. And I was like, well, guess what? You got a dorm, and you're going to Clemson. So,
your problem. That's it.
But the boys were like, we get to work out 24/7. And I literally, at 2 o'clock in the morning, would hear the clanging of the cables that they were out there messing around. So they were, 13, and they were probably 13 and 15 at the time. So, yes, it was their heaven. It was like living in a dorm room. That's crazy. So we moved a couple times into bigger places, and my living area got smaller and smaller. But literally, I could hear every bang and clang. We were not 24/7. But so then decided to open a CrossFit. So we started renting a building across town, open CrossFit, and then I was like, hey, why not combine weights? I knew so many people that had a CrossFit gym membership and had 2 memberships going because they wanted to do weights, especially people at Excel. Right. So so and boxing and everything else. So we moved Iron House over into CrossFit and took down the wall that was the partition just to make people be social. I was like, y'all are going to look at each other. You're going to have to, because a lot of people, they've never even been in a box to see CrossFit. So you got bodybuilders who now they could sit on their cardio machines and watch. So there was a lot of animosity, a little at first. Lost a few coaches along the way who were totally against not being in a box. But that's not the way things are done. And I said, do you know me? I do things that aren't supposed to be done. But never regretted a moment. We've just grown and grown. And then, of course, when Jacob came along, Jacob, I attribute to a lot of our boom. Because we were, yes, absolutely. People would walk through and they're like, yeah, Jacob at the nutrition store sent me. So it...
thank you.
Well, I hope it's been back and forth.
Of course,
because I send people your way. They might not always go, but no. So here we are, and then there's the community piece. Right. Love the way Jacob has tried to pull the community of gyms together because there is so much, especially Spartanburg. Right. There is so much. It's just hate, competition. We are all trying to do the same thing. None of us are in it for the money. You can't be doing this if you're in it for the money. Right. And so why aren't we, it's not like we're fishing from a tiny pond. There's a million people who need to work out and need a place to go. So why can't we work together? Love the coalition idea, and that's kind of where we are now. Trying to build.
I was going to say, sorry to cut you off.
No.
We were talking a few weeks ago about like the difference in location of like how gyms treat each other. And I was saying, like in Spartanburg, especially the CrossFit boxes, I've noticed.
Oh yeah, we touched on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say they seem to be really against, like competitive with each other and kind of like clawing at each other. But coming here in Greenville, it is different. Like a lot of the CrossFit boxes help each other. And noticing that like difference there, I'm like, I think everybody should kind of have a centralized like connection.
Come together. What was crazy was after we opened CrossFit, I had 2 from this area come up to me. Right. Nobody from Spartanburg has ever come to my box, But I had OSC and I can't remember the other one just coming in and saying, "Hey, we just wanted to see how it was going and
really cool.
introduce ourselves." I was like, "What?"
Was it Rico?
No.
OSC? I love that guy. He's awesome dude.
Yeah, I cannot remember his name now. It's been 3 years.
I got you.
Almost 4 years.
Right.
But no, just friendly. And at first I was all like, what do you want? Why are you here? And got my hackles up. And then once we started talking, he was like, if you ever need any information, if you ever need this, that. And I was like, I love you.
That's the way it should be.
But, yeah,
really.
I was going to say, so I actually, believe it or not, I met Logan and Chad before I ever even met you. And I came up here for the meet where Stacy Burr was here like 3 years ago.
Gosh, yeah.
And I saw this gym, and I'm like, so tri-fit, three different kind of spectrums of fitness.
Right.
And then I walked into Iron House, and you guys had just started CrossFit Collision at the time.
Right.
I was like, this is going to be something special. And it is. Obviously, Spartanburg, everybody knows you guys.
Yeah.
It's Iron House.
I mean, we know you out here.
It's
I got people that come like, oh, I was over at Iron House in Spartan. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a commonplace name over here. That,
well, good. That warms my heart. The blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, it's always worth it. My kids will tell you, like, I get something in my head and I don't let it go.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, I had the pony parties for a while, the petting zoo. Like, I get this. We're doing cricket, making our own clothes now.
Yeah.
So it's just
we can have a whole separate podcast on that.
the crazy lives we lead. But it truly, my whole, as a nurse, I want people to be healthy. I don't want it to be one of those things where the doctor said, you must go do this, this, and this, or have your focus be losing weight.
Yeah.
That's not the goal. Like, I don't care what you weigh. I want you moving and I want you healthy. So whatever form that takes, and that's, again, why we keep trying to add more bang for your buck in the gym, so that no matter what, you wake up on Monday morning and you want to go do this, or you wake up Tuesday morning and you want to go lift a heavy stone. Like, whatever you want to do, we're trying to get it.
Yeah, it's available.
And that's the feel that your gym has as well.
I mean, so Chad and I, we were trainers, and for us, it was like we kept looking at these Pinterest workouts and like all this. If you buy this lemon water, you're gonna, and it's like, so one, it was like this weird mix of like, we just got to provide the education and the value, proper information, and then all these things that people are picking up on or buying or doing, they're all derived of just these three basic principles of strength training, athletic performance, or some sort of training with the intent of improving your physique, bodybuilding, right? So we were like, okay, we've got those three principles. Let's make sure we kind of cater to those three things. And whether you want to get strong, lift a stone, lift a barbell, or lift a dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever, these principles are here. Like, you need to be doing those things. And then just providing that for the athlete instead of saying, like, I think like things get like hyper niche in this world. Like CrossFit is like, you got to go do CrossFit there, or it's like Burn Boot Camp or something is like you're doing boot camps. It's not an open gym. It's not 24/7. It's not strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit, all of them. So
for me, like boxes.
It's like
we try to live in.
And for like the coalition, to your point there, it was me. It's like, whatever got you into fitness is going to be better for all of the people who are trying to provide fitness-related things for you. Get people into fitness, get them healthy, get them moving. For me, what's impressive most isn't what your goal or what your outcome is. It's the journey that took you to get there, right? Like, you moved into the warehouse. Like, that is killer to me. Like, that's really, really cool. So I feel like, again, like, getting the community together and getting people into it.
Right.
I was going to say, and to speak on the journey that all the people under us, but people who like support us are facing, the coalition, I see it as like a big networking possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you go to the coalition, upstatecoalition.com, which I try to update weekly, it's going to have like a message board saying like, hey, this is going on at this gym. Or, and then there's a list of links to refer people, which I haven't really talked about a lot on the podcast, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole idea is like, if we can all help each other as business owners and like professionals, it's going to improve all the people under us.
Absolutely.
Provides more value to the community. Right. That's what I think.
Well, speaking of community, we got an event coming up in a few weeks at Iron House.
Yes.
I definitely want to talk about that.
StrengthsGiving.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, well, initially, Dutch had recently passed away when we were planning it, and so Jacob, in his brain, came up with the StrengthsGiving, Dutch promotions. So that's kind of, the idea started because I said, let's have a Thanksgiving meal. The gym was growing, and I said, let's all bring food and have a fun time the Saturday before Thanksgiving, before everybody goes out of town for family. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, if everybody's going to bring enough food for us to eat, why don't we bring twice as much and feed the community? So I pictured us boxing food and going to the QT and feeding homeless and doing whatever. Because again, I was still nursing. I guess I was still nursing in the community. And there's just such a need between the food banks and everything else, because the food banks close, and then what do the people do? So, but it rained on us the first year, so we had to dump a lot of stuff. We took it to a couple missions. But anyways, that's where we are. This year we're doing a little different. We're not frying a million turkeys out in the parking lot and trying to do all that. We have ordered through the Beacon everything that we need.
Cool. Oh yeah, dude.
Yes.
Dangerously good.
Yeah, he tried to get me to eat a cheeseburger aplenty.
Let's go! Yeah.
And I said, well, take the bun off and I'll do it. I can eat the cheese and I can eat the burger. No, then he asked. He said his name is Steve. I don't know. I guess he runs the Beacon at this point. But he said, how much of a boom would it be for us if we could get you holding a cheeseburger aplenty and say that this is what you do to
this is what you do to shred up, right?
I said, I don't know if I can do that for you. But anyways, so we've come up with a $3,000 total, which is actually only covering the Beacon. It's not covering the rest of the stuff. Right. So we're still taking donations, but we're going to put everything will already be bought and brought and dropped off.
Very cool.
So we will probably box up 200 meals first and then eat what there is. Whoever's there will eat, and then box up the rest. So I'm hoping we'll box up about 300 meals.
That'd be awesome.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Feed. Last year, I think we fed in-house about 140.
Oh my gosh.
And then boxed up 200 meals or whatever it was.
It was awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the assembly line. The first year, like, it still gives me chills. The first year when I looked up, I'm serving, and Lexi had, in her way that she bosses everybody around.
She's so loving.
Yes. Well, she just like snapped her fingers because I didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So she just started snapping her fingers. Next thing I knew, there were 25 people in line with to-go boxes. So everybody went through about 3 times, 4 times.
I was going to say, Lexi and I weren't that close at that point, but she started snapping, and she pointed at me. She's like, "Hey, you're loud.
Yeah.
Yell at people. Get them in line." And so it just kind of came together. But it's awesome. Like, I didn't realize how many meals were actually made last year. But seeing them stacked up, it's incredible.
Very cool.
Yes. And that's the only benefit that. Positive thing we did last year. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but anyways, the first time I didn't know where they were going, if we were doing 10 cars heading out with 50 meals each, or what we were doing. So we had decided different places. We could take 25 to this place. We could take 30. So we were trying to make stacks of however many needed to go to that boarding home. And then people started grabbing, and from there, and then I about lost my mind because I was like, no, that was a stack of 25. I'm like, you know what? They're all going out into the community.
They're all helping people,
matter.
right? Yeah.
So, but that's what we got going on. So a week from this Saturday, anybody is welcome to come eat. Come lend a hand, and
it'll be fun. What time?
I think we're aiming for 1.
Okay.
If we start making boxes at 1, eat by 1:30, and head out by 2:30. I guess not. I don't know.
This is gonna be at Iron House.
Yes. Yeah. At Iron House. Yep.
And if people want to donate, where are we going for that?
That is Venmo.
Okay.
You probably know better than me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Well, I mean, as of right now, there's a link in our bio if you want to donate. Anybody who's listening or watching this. It is going to a personal Venmo, which is Lexi's, but obviously this is for charity, and we want to avoid the credit card processing fees and whatnot.
Yes.
Just being transparent about that.
Every dime going. Yeah.
Right. So, what are we at right now? What's the...
I think 2,200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Very nice.
Yeah, about 2,200.
Was that as of this morning?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes, that was after
TNS. Well, no. I mean, because we've had customers come in, and like my contribution on top of them.
Yeah.
And it keeps coming, so I just want to make sure I keep it up to date too.
Very cool. So, it is. It's like I said, sky's the limit, because we'll just add. I'll add food. Whatever we get. I went to one of the bakery stores to ask if they would donate. And they were like, no. They said, well, our truck comes Friday afternoons if you want to come back by. So I may, because I don't have a dessert planned at this point. Sweet potato crunch.
Yeah.
But so I may probably Friday afternoon go by and see what kind of pre-hostess whatever I can get prepackaged.
I feel like there's enough members at Iron House that would love to make a dessert, but maybe I'm wrong.
But again, yes, that's the other thing.
I can make a mean Pop-Tart.
It's hard. Well, it's hard to box that, but yes, no, anything. I'll run back out to Sam's and get dessert boxes if that's what we have to do. So, however. I wish I was more planned, but I'm not. It always works out.
Yeah.
It all works
Sometimes
out.
Sometimes that's the best. Just let the energy take it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, what's that like infographic? It's like where you start and then success, or like accomplishment. It's like this big long loop.
Yeah. Crazy squiggly line. Yeah.
Well, we just keep and you would think that I would improve my organization along the way. This is our 3rd year, but I'm like, no, let's just add more meals.
Let's just do more, whatever it is, just do more of it.
So we have more people to give at this point.
Awesome,
Our spokes go out a little bit farther. So
yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, sweet.
Good old strengths.
One little side note: I've learned not to say the L word around here, which is list.
List. What is that? I don't even.
It literally makes me nauseous. I was telling my client this morning. Yeah, no.
Wow.
And that's where we probably are a little different because I cannot. I mean, don't ask me. Like, priority in my mind, I know what has to be done, and I know I get it done. Yeah. But don't.
That's that nurse's life. Like, you just. Everything is just blasted.
Yeah, well, you got to have 5 things going. You're going to get them all done because they're, especially nursing, they're timely. They have to get done. And ultimately, I had to get to the beacon. I didn't know where everything was coming from because Bojangles said we're not frying. Wade said no way. Like, a lot of people were like, good luck. And then I thought, oh man. So I called the beacon. And Steve was like, right up my alley. How many you need? I'm like, can you do 20 turkeys? Yeah. And he's like, of course. I drive on this. And I'm like, oh, let's do it. So
that's awesome.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So thank you, beacon.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Well, I guess, is there anything else we want to add or converse about? What are you doing on the 20th?
The 20th,
get out there.
I've got a couple athletes competing at Plymouth State. Yeah, so I'll be up there. And Chad will be competing in Somerville.
Nice.
But we'll let everybody know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have some track fit crew coming out for sure.
Like I say, free meal for whoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be there.
That'll be
State Saturday.
You got to be everywhere all the time.
What time does that start?
Lifting will be at 9.
Okay,
Rules
I'll be
day
there for
lifting
that.
at 9.
Yeah, I'll be there for that, and then I'll show up for StrengthsGiving later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully it goes smooth. Tell Megan and them to
they put on good
make it run smooth.
Yeah, they will.
They'll be fine. That'll be great.
Their gym's awesome too. I mean, that's one of those environments. I mean, we were there the other week.
It was super
really
cool,
cool
man.
vibe as well.
Fun,
So,
we got just too much stuff going on in Greenville.
Yeah, no such thing as too much, man.
Just won't put in a list.
Extra stimulants, you know.
More caffeine.
Let's go. Keep on drinking.
Let's go.
Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for listening to the Upstate Strengthcast. If you want to find us, you can go to the upstatecoalition.com. And thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
No, thanks for the invite. So nice to meet you, Lynn.
Yeah, good meeting you.